7 band score. So I'm almost ready for exploring the universities. Yeah, thank you.
Thank you. That's fantastic. So the great thing is the University of Otago has a 12-month Master of Business in Business Analytics. And the great thing is that anyone from any background can come into that program, which is just suits you down to the ground with your master of, with your linguistics background, and you can definitely come in. What they'll be looking at is with and you got an honours as well, and this is for anyone that wants to do a coursework masters, or we call it a taught masters, is we're looking at the equivalent of an Otago B, which is round about 72%, or you're looking at basically 72, or with your universities out of, say, a 5, we're looking at round about a 3.2. The business analytics, and I will share my screen as well, so too that you start to get used to seeing the university website. If any students, so it comes in with a equivalent of a B and an IELTS of 6.5, no band below 5. But if we can see that you've got the equivalent of a B plus or higher, then you automatically get a $10,000 New Zealand scholarship that comes off your tuition fees. So for this year, the tuition fees for a Master of Business in business analytics is 63,850. But if we can see that you had a B plus or higher, then that would drop to $53,850. Okay, so I'm going to just share my screen and we can have a look at the Master of Business, Business Analytics, so you can see the structure of it and the papers as well. So for everyone that's listening, if you did a 12-month master, so basically 1 year, you can then apply for a 3-year post-study work visa. These are open work visas. It doesn't mean that, for example, this student, because he's graduated with a business analytics degree, he needs to find a job in business analytics. It's actually open to all careers. But, business analytics, there is, data mining, etc. It's a very good career choice. Anything with IT is also the graduate starting sort of salary is a bit higher than, say, your marketing or your management, for example. So, yep, hopefully you can see in front of you, it says Master of Business. Staff, please let me know if you're looking at something else on one of my screens. So, and I'll also pop this into just this URL into the chat for everyone too. So you can also look at it in your own time. And so if we come down, it tells you an overview of the Master of Business. You can see it's a 1-year duration. And then we can select the subject. So if we click down here, click on Business Analytics, and now you can see what it's made up of. So you have 3 options. So a little something for everyone, depending on what you want out of a Master of Business. Some students, maybe like yourself, you've done your honours, you're quite confident with research, and you might even want to go on and do a PhD. I don't know. So we have the option of a dissertation, 12-month dissertation. We have an option of, we call it the project. So it's taking papers, coursework taught, and then plus you've also got an applied project that you would be doing as well. And then for students that just want to do basically a total of 180 points worth of papers, we've also got the coursework papers option as well. So there are 3, and you can click on each of these. For example, we call them papers in New Zealand. You might know them as modules, units, and sort of deep dive into what this is about. So what is the applied project about? Okay, so Under the guidance of a supervisor, students will design and undertake a research-based independent investigation of a business, or more broadly defined, problem, real, simulated, to develop an applied report of relevance to potential stakeholders. So this means that you wouldn't be, it's not an intern as such, you're not sitting in a company, but you're given a real live problem. So in business analytics, we've got a very strong alumni and very strong network with industry. And so they would give you a real life project, which you would work on over the summer holidays, for example. You can see the different periods that you would work on this, and then hand it in after the 12 months. So that is all about business analytics. There are other universities in New Zealand that do have business analytics. So I suggest that you talk to Globalwings about other options too. You did say your budget was around about 40,000. This Otago with the scholarship is just a little bit more than that. But the wonderful thing about coming to the Otago Business School and doing a Master of Business and Business Analytics is that even though it is more expensive, we do have a smaller number at the master's level in the lectures, in the classroom, etc. So you're really getting that very, very small student to teacher ratio in the classroom setting. And as I said before, we've got very strong industry networks. Now, the University of Otago is located in the South Island in the city of Dunedin. It is a typical university city. If you were looking at UK, I'd say it's very similar to like Durham University, or if you're looking at the US, like to a kind of a more of a liberal arts university city. So you get, but it's got a very, very strong brand. It's world famous in New Zealand and around the world as well. So by getting a degree, a Master of Business and Business Analytics from Otago, the employers, when you go for those jobs in the larger cities, maybe in Auckland and Christchurch, Wellington, etc., they know the Otago brand and the quality of the university. There any other questions you might have before I go on to another student?
No, thank you very much for your clarification, ma'am. I'm really happy that you have answered very in detail. Thanks a lot.
Welcome. I'm very happy to share my contact details too. If any of the students tonight have more questions after having sort of counselling with the counsellors here at Globalwings too, I'm happy to leave that, or for staff to give that out to them.
Yes, ma'am. And this student is already in our office and front of us. So I think we will talk with him in depth and let us know. Thank you so much, sir and ma'am, for the details. So we can go for next. Can I, ma'am?
Certainly. Please
okay.
do.
So I can call 𝐕𝐢𝐜𝐭𝐨𝐫𝐢𝐚, ma'am, who is actually, ma'am, connected with me, especially for the University of Otago. Yesterday, she connected with me and she sent all the documents to me. So she is love to talk with you. So 𝐕𝐢𝐜, ma'am, are you there?
Yes, I'm here.
Okay, ma'am, please continue.
Hello. Good morning from my end, and I'm guessing it's good evening good evening from your end. So basically, I finished my undergraduation from University of Huddersfield in the UK back in 2015. Then I came back to Bangladesh and started working for FMCG. First, I worked for British American Tobacco, then KNS Canada, and then COVID was there, and I also had my newborn. So I kind of had a gap for about 1.5 years or so. Right after that, I got into teaching. I started at a school called Playpen, and now I'm currently also a teacher at Mastermind School. It's one of the top schools in the country right about now. And I'm really intrigued to know about the teaching and learning program for masters at the University of Otago. I did do a little bit of digging for Otago. It's like on the second ranking at New Zealand, right after University of Auckland. And I did go through the program a bit, that they have a dual session. One is in class, and then another one is they take you to school and you get to watch the other teachers, giving lectures. I already did my PTE and I got an 81 in an overall score. So I would like to know a bit more about the program and the procedure to apply and the costing and everything.
Certainly. Are you interested in primary? Like, do you teach in
Yes,
primary or secondary?
primary. I'm teaching nursery right about now.
Okay. Okay, so early child. Okay,
Yeah,
cool.
early child.
So, yeah. So, let me just talk a little bit, and then I'll share the page because I know that you've been looked at the website anyway. So, the University of Otago's College of Education is the oldest in the country. For those that are listening, the University of Otago is the second highest ranked in New Zealand, and it's in the top 200 in the world, but we're also the oldest university. So we were established in 1869, and we've been teaching students for over 156 years. So it's got a very, very a UK taste, we're a Scottish diaspora really in Dunedin. So we've got the oldest college of education, and we're the only, well, I'm sure we're the only New Zealand university to offer a 1-year Master of Teaching and Learning in early childhood education.
Yes, you are
Polytechnics
the only
do.
university.
Yeah, we
Everyone
are.
else is
Okay, right. I'm not
1.5.
making things up. Okay, great. So yeah. So basically, there's only one intake per year. It always starts January. So the students have only just started for 2026. So the next intake won't be until January 2027. Applications for 2027 have not opened yet. They will open from the 1st of May. And for the Master of Teaching and Learning, you have from the 1st of May through to the end of July to get your application in. Even if you got it in on the 1st of May, they will not look at it till the end of July because they want to look at all the applications as a batch. Now, something I want to give you, so as part of applying, what a student needs to do is you need to have a handwritten statement. I suppose with AI, they need a handwritten statement explaining why you want to be a teacher and do the Master of Teaching and Education. You also need to give us a CV, an academic CV showing what you've done and from your background this is perfect, that you can show that evidence that you've been teaching and have had an involvement with children. For other students that are listening who may not have such a strong teaching background as this student, that's fine. But what they want to see is that maybe that you've got a passion for teaching. So that might be that you have volunteered, that you might be you in extracurricular clubs and things like that involve children. So that's fine. You don't have to have a teaching sort of degree and a resume made up of that you're teaching in classroom, but they want to see that passion come through, that you want to teach students, you've got that passion for teaching. The other thing too, and this is a really good tip, is that you can see behind me that we have two official languages. One is English, and everything is taught in English. Our education system is in English, but we're very proud of our Indigenous culture as well, which is te reo or Māori. So this is our native sort of tongue, and that is peppered through a lot of the curriculum as well. So I suggest that if you wanted to be a teacher, do a little bit of research about Maori culture. No one expects you to be fluent in Maori and te reo, but to know about the culture will help, especially as you will, if you're shortlisted, you will be interviewed by the College of Education, and they will bring up questions such as, do you know anything about Maori culture? So, for example, the head is sacred. You would never touch a child, a Pacific Island or a Maori child on the head when you were teaching them or telling them off. You know, little things like that. So that will make you stand out from the other candidates around the world as well, that you've taken the time to research and understand the New Zealand and Maori culture. So basically, get your application in. There's a few things that you need to do and police checks, etc., as well as that statement of interest, as well as that CV. And then once you're shortlisted, you will get an interview in early September, and you will then get an offer of place by October, giving you plenty of time to get that visa in to come into the country by January. We've got a Bangladeshi student starting this year, which is great. So once they're settled in, it'll be quite nice to kind of do a profile on them and find out what their background was as well. So definitely they've set the precedent for you guys, which is great. What else can I tell you? You wanted to know price. So let me just pop on. I'm just going to share my screen again, once again, so that you all can kind of get a feeling of how to navigate the website. So I was just up and looking at the Master of Teaching and Learning. What you can do up here is if you scroll over the top, you'll click on International. You can then go to Future. You're thinking of the future international student. And here are all kind of areas that we've tried to think of the questions you have and answer them. So you can go down to international tuition fees. Sometimes the web pages have the tuition fee, like the Master of Business did, but for teaching, it didn't. You can come down. Teaching sits under humanities. And you can see, I'm just going to scroll quickly through down to, because I know it's right down here. So you're looking at a Bachelor of Teaching and Learning. It's 180 points. It's 1 year. This is in New Zealand dollars, 61,845. Now, of course, remember when they look at your transcripts, and if you've got a B plus or higher, automatically $10,000 will come off your offer of place, and it's 51,845. Now,
I got
teaching.
sorry to interrupt. I got a first class from my bachelor's from
Excellent.
UK.
Yeah, great.
Okay.
The
So
other
would
thing
that
too
scholarship be
is
applicable here?
I want to just say it should be. I don't want to say yes, it will be, because I don't want it to come back
Okay.
on me when when admissions suddenly says, yeah, but the GPA of that is different to. So that sounds very good without seeing the transcripts. But just also letting you know, so that would drop it to 51,845. The other great thing is that this is on the green list, or the New Zealand short skills list, which means then once you get your job after applying for, after you've graduated, that's fast track to residency as well.
Okay. Can I ask one more question?
Yeah, sure.
You mentioned that I need to write a handwritten SOP and then scan it and send it. Okay. All right. Handwritten. Is there any like word limit or anything? Because I honestly I do write myself like short stories and poetry.
Definitely.
So I was just thinking about it. Okay.
Yeah, I mean, yeah, I know. I mean, it's kind of, I mean, I don't quite understand why it's handwritten. I mean, even if they kind of say AI, you can still always ask AI how to write your statement of interest and then just handwrite it out, right? But yeah, it's something they've asked for it to happen.
Is it applicable to other universities as well, the handwritten method?
I don't know. I've got no idea. This is where Globalwings would be able to let you know. Yeah.
All right. Okay. Thank you so much, though. It was very helpful.
Thank you so much. As I can see, there's a lot of beautiful souls that have joined us today, and everybody's so eager to talk with Miss Victoria over here. Everybody will get a chance, but please be patient. I can also see your hands are raised. I will call you all one by one, and the queue system is through our chat since a lot of people are joining right now. So please let me call for Mehdi Hassan Khondokar. If you're here, the floor is yours.
Yes, thank you so much. Basically, my name is Mehdi Hassan Khondokar, and I recently completed my bachelor degree from American International University of Bangladesh. And my mainly, I want to know about like I don't have any English proficiency certificate yet, but I have MOI certificate. So I really interested to like know about if I apply with my MOI certificate, is it good for me or
No, it's not. So let me just share my screen again, and let's go to the home page. And I'm going to show you, I'll show you the list of English proficiency tests that we allow. So this is the home page. We've just basically welcomed 20,000 students onto the Dunedin campus the last 2 weeks, and over 900 international students. So that says why it says welcome home for those returning. Once again, remember I said you come up to international, we can scroll over to entrance requirements. And under entrance requirements, we've got English language requirements. So if I scroll down to the English language proficiency tests, and over on the right is postgraduate requirements, you can see what is needed and what we allow. So we even allow not only IELTS, TOEFL, language cert, APIEL, etc. We've also even got Duolingo English test. If you don't know what Duolingo is, it's actually an online test which you can do in the comfort of your own home. So if you did Duolingo, for example, then you need an overall score of 120 with no individual sub-score below 95, for example. So we will need to see one of these, but we can give you a conditional offer while we wait for your English, and Globalwings can actually start the student visa process with a conditional offer to see you could do all that kind of background work and with your financials, etc., to see if you would get an acceptance in principle from Immigration New Zealand, knowing that, yep, your financials are good, you're allowed in, and then they would just say, so we just need to see your English proficiency, and then you know there's a place for you in the university, and Immigration New Zealand is happy for you to give you a student visa. So we do give conditional offers while we wait for your English proficiency.
okay? Thank you so much for your information.
You're
Okay,
welcome.
thank you.
Thank you so much. Now I'm going back to the people who raised their hands. Shopnil, if you're here, the floor is yours. Mr. Shopnil.
Yeah, thank you for the opportunity. Uh, Thank you, ma'am. So I'm Swapnil Torvdar. I'm a graduate in educational technology and engineering. I'm currently working as a university lecturer here in Bangladesh. So I'm basically planning to apply to the Master of Education and Learning, endorsed particularly in the digital technologies at the University of Otago for this July 2026 intake. So I would like to know about the
2027 intake. 2027 intake.
2026, this
For
July, ma'am.
teaching and learning to become a teacher, a
This, no, no,
registered
no. This is
teacher.
the particularly in the Master of Education and Learning. This is a bit different from the teaching and learning, basically.
Oh, okay.
And yeah, and the
That's
endorsement would be in digital technologies. So my question is actually that I would like to know about the career opportunities after this graduation, and especially in teaching, and also about the post-study work visa and peer pathways in New Zealand, particularly after completing my master's from this subject. Thank you very much.
so the Master of Education and Learning does not lead you to registration. The only program that leads you to registration is teaching and learning. So what this is, the Master of Education and Learning is it's basically upskilling teachers who are already registered. I'm going to share the screen. So it's designed, so here it is, the Master of Education and Learning. And yes, you can see the endorsement in digital technologies. So it is basically it is designed to meet professional development needs of teachers in early childhood, primary and secondary schools, and to help teachers further develop their critical knowledge and understanding, et cetera, et cetera. So it's really designed for, it's not designed, it's designed for teachers. I think you would be declined because you don't have you're a lecturer. So I won't say that, but if your desire is to teach in a secondary school, then this is not the pathway for you. Okay. You, after getting a Master of Education and Learning, you're allowed to apply for a 3-year post-study work visa, but you would not be able to teach in a classroom setting. You understand that?
Yes, ma'am, I understand that. Any alternative for this thing? Any alternative subject?
And it's 18 months, it's not 12 months. So if you're interested in digital technologies, then it'll be getting you into the corporate world rather than teaching. Then we've got our Master of Applied Science in computer science, or Master of Applied Science in AI. We are starting up a Master of Digital Technologies, which would be great for you in the Queenstown campus, but it's still being designed. So hopefully it might be ready to go in 2027, but we don't have any information on that until it's actually been the government, which we call QAP, which does qualifications, has actually approved this new Master of Digital Technologies, and that will be taught from Queenstown, the Queenstown campus. So if you wanted to do a Master of Teaching and Learning, then you would do it in secondary. And what they would look at is your CV, and you need to have basically some expertise in 2 majors that are in a secondary high school curriculum. So, of course, we don't teach digital technologies in a high school in New Zealand. So you would become the computer science teacher and maybe the maths teacher at secondary school, having completed a 1-year Master of Teaching and Learning. You are competing against other international students for a place. It is limited enrollment. The Master of Education and Learning is not limited. Anyone can come in as long as they get an offer of place. But the Teaching and Learning is limited to the number of international students that we can take on, because we've got to place them out in the schools around the region.
Yes, ma'am, I understand. Yeah. It makes sense.
Yeah.
Okay. Thank you very much. Okay.
You're welcome. So I think have a look with Globalwings at some other New Zealand universities that might have a Master of Digital Technologies that leads to some sort of teaching, but I'm not too sure if we do. We're not that advanced, I don't think, in New Zealand secondary schools. Okay, next.
Okay, thank you so much.
Thank you.
Thank you, Swapnil. I would also like to remind everybody once more time, if you want to be entered into the queue, please type anything in the chat. It might be a question or just a hello. Okay, moving on. I'm calling for Miss Shamima. Dr. Shamima, if you're here, please, this is your floor.
Assalamu alaikum. Hello, assalamu alaikum.
Walaikum assalam. Hello.
Walaikum salam.
Hello, ma'am. I am Dr. Shamima Akhtar.
Lovely to meet you.
I have completed my bachelor degree, like MBBS, and I am now practicing. I am also interested in higher education, like a master's of option gynae in your university. I saw that the University of Otago offers several degrees for higher education, like master's, research. Now I want to know that I want to complete my higher education about option gynae through full fund scholarship. Can I get any assistance from you or your university in these regards?
So if you want to sort of do higher education and specialize in gynecology, etc., it would be a research PhD. We would not allow you to do your specialist or be in front of any patients unless you had your medical, had sat the New Zealand Medical Board exams. And that postgraduate, that type of specializing for doctors is done outside of the university. So if you wanted to carry on in the research field and do a 3-year research PhD, then you can apply for that, and you need to find a supervisor. For medical doctors like yourself, we don't have many higher education programs for you in the hospital sector because of having to get the registration under the New Zealand medical boards. So for a lot of students like yourself, there is Master of Public Health, which is a 2-year master. There's a research PhD, which you could do 3 years in some sort of research on gynecology, obstetrics, etc. The other one would be Master of basically health management, but you'd need to show that you'd done some sort of management within the health sector back in Bangladesh. So is that what you were after, or not really? You really want to get into more specialization?
Ma'am, I want to be a specialized.
Unfortunately, no, we don't have any options for you. The other medical university is Auckland University, but they're exactly the same. The first step that you need to do is actually sit the New Zealand Medical Board exams, and then you are specializing, and you need to find a professor that you can specialize under. Yeah.
Okay, ma'am. In this process, I completed CFR test. Is it needed, or IELTS or PT must need?
To do a PhD or a master's, it's an IELTS of 6.5, no band below 6.
Okay.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Sorry. Yeah.
Assalamualaikum.
Walaikum Assalam. Thank you so much. Moving forward from the chat box, I can see Morshad Rusho. Morshad Rusho, if you're here, please turn on your mic. The floor is yours.
Hi, Victoria. This is M. Morshad. I am actually interested in doing PhD in University of Otago. I have completed my master's from UK and teaching here in one of the leading university in Bangladesh for more than 15 years. So now I'm planning to pursue a PhD degree in finance. So what I need to know is the admission process and how to contact a supervisor and finance supervisors available there or not. And at the same time, the tuition fee or funding facilities, if you have any, accommodation, PR possibilities, all this stuff I need to know from you, if you can answer. I've asked a lot of questions.
Sure. Yeah, no, that's fine. And there'll be a lot of other students that are interested in PhD and how to apply. So what I'm going to say is the same application process for nearly basically all the departments in the university. So I'm going to share my screen again to give you some tricks and tips. So where am I? I'm going to do share. Okay, so I just popped up in the search engine Department of Finance because I want to just go into the Department of Finance just to see what their PhD page is. So every department is set out the same, and we can go to getting my study with us. We can go to postgraduate study. and then down to PhD. So this one takes us to the official Otago PhD website. Great. I'm going to go on Doctor of Philosophy. If this doesn't work, then I'm going to go somewhere else. Okay, so this is going to take me to for a page for PhD and doctoral science students. I'm going to just throw this into the chat so you can all grab this link as well. And if we click on the PhD program, it's got some wonderful assistance, tips, tricks, etc. So it tells you about basically the overview of the PhD program. It's a 3-year program. It's not like the American 5-year where there's coursework. It is research only. All right. So you have at least 3 years to basically do data collection and type up your thesis or dissertation, and it's about 100,000 words. So basically, the first thing you need to do is find a supervisor or an academic that is willing to supervise you. Now, you did say about tuition fees, and New Zealand, our government subsidises all international PhDs. So you're paying your fees per year are the same as our domestic fees, making it one of the cheapest countries in the, I suppose, Western world to complete a PhD in. So you're looking at around about 7,000 New Zealand dollars per year are the international tuition fees to complete a PhD. So you can imagine how popular this is with students from all over the world who want to complete their PhD here. And then, of course, hopefully the family and yourself fall in love with the country and you apply for a 3-year post-study work visa. So the first thing is we've got a few databases to try and find the academics. So, for example, you can see if any academics within finance are looking for PhD students. So you can sort of pop in or put in finance. And right, so Sebastian here, he's looking at his researches in sustainable investment, greenwashing, sustainable land use. You can click on that and it will tell you about what he's looking for PhD students to help him with a project he must have got funding on, etc. So that's one way to do it. The other way to do it, I don't know how I got that red squiggle, is to go, I'm just going to go click back, there's also a media expert database, etc. But also you can go back into the department. Go up here and there is, I'm just going to go, and there's always a department contact our people. Every department, it's called Our People. And you can do your own research in here and look at academic staff. And they always have the staff. They always sort of say what their research interest is. So you can try and find an academic that has the same research interest that you have. So for example, let's just take it that you're interested in corporate governance. And you can then read up on Dr. Yi-Mei's Man, research interests, even her publications, etc. If you felt this was in line with your own research, if you thought this was in line with your own research interest, then what you're going to do is just email her. When you email her, you're going to introduce yourself, why you would like to have her as a supervisor. You're going to attach an academic CV with 2 referees. You're going to also attach your research proposal that you'd like to do your PhD on, and also your research master's thesis as well. This is the hardest part because some academics are very good at getting back to you, others aren't. They are getting bombarded with hundreds of emails all the time from interested students. So think of it like a job interview. Don't rush into this. Maybe get your colleagues to critique your research proposal. Have a really good look at not only academics at Otago, but other New Zealand universities to find the right fit. Don't bombard every academic within the Department of Finance, for example, really get it down to one-on-one and then wait. Because some academics might just look at these emails coming in from students maybe once a month. Others might be once a week. They've got their own research, their own teaching, and they can only supervise about 2 PhD students every year as well. Once you hear back from the academic who says, yes, I would love to supervise you, that's the hardest part over. Then Globalwings can put your application in for a PhD, and then there's a lot of red tape. Then your application goes back out to the department. It needs to be signed off by the HOD. It goes up to divisional level, signed off by the Pro-Vice-Chancellor. It goes to the Graduate Research Office. It's signed off by a PhD committee. And then it comes back and you get an unconditional offer. At the same time, your application, you'll get an invitation to apply for a doctoral scholarship. That doctoral scholarship and an international, remember, we can go to scholarships and we can look at, let's scroll down to doctoral scholarships. That doctoral scholarship is basically, it has tuition fees waiver for 3 years. So you would not have to pay your tuition fees, and you would get per annum $33,624 per year. So hopefully you don't have to get a part-time job. If you're bringing your wife with you or your partner, then they would get a full work visa while you're studying your PhD. If you're bringing your children and they're between the age of 5 and 18, they would go to local schools and just paying the local school fee, domestic fees for that area. These are very competitive. They will look at they'll look at your undergrad and your master's at your GPA, and you need to be sitting on the equivalent of an A GPA for your master's and your undergrad. And then they'll also look at what the proposal is that you are wanting to do for your research. And is that research going to have any significance to the New Zealand economy, for example? So those are some of the things that the scholarships committee looks at when they get the applications in for the doctoral scholarships. You can start your PhD any time of the year because there's no lectures. So you're not reliant on intakes. You can start them basically any month during the year, as long as you've got the approval from that, you've spoken to your supervisor and they're like, yep, well, I'm very happy for you to start on the 1st of August, for example. You asked about accommodation. I'll stop sharing. So accommodation, we have small university housing stock for families. We also have temporary accommodation for PhD students because they're coming in during the year. That gives you just a bed to stay in for at least 6 weeks while you're looking for private accommodation if all our university housing has gone. So Much easier if you're coming by yourself without a family. Then there's a lot more sort of university accommodation options for you, as in uni flats. And the private sector, if you're bringing your family and the university family housing is all full, then it's the private market that you'd have to look at.
And in that private market, what is the rent per month approximately for family house?
Approximately, you're looking at probably, say for a 3-bedroom house, you're looking, and I would suggest it would probably be away from the university, so you'd get a public bus. We're talking about a very small city here, though. You know, it's not like Bangladesh. Please just think of it as a village almost, where it's a 20 minutes wherever you go in the city. So you'd be looking at say a 3-bedroom house in the suburbs where it would take you would drive or take a bus, and you're looking at least about $400 per week.
Okay, thank you. Just one more thing.
And that's just rent, yeah.
Just one more thing I need to clarify. If I understood correctly, I have to apply for that scholarship after getting approval from that supervisor. Am I right?
Correct. Yes. Yes. Sometimes the academics, more in the sciences field, will ask if you can finance yourself if you need a scholarship, because of course in the sciences a lot of the experiments are very costly and laboratories, etc. So sometimes they want to see that a student has actually got the scholarship first, before they'll actually take you on, so that they know that you will be able to just concentrate on your PhD and not suddenly not have enough money and have to, find work instead of focusing on that PhD. So some academics feel more comfortable to take on a student if they've got a scholarship, a doctoral scholarship, while others, no, you apply first before you get the scholarship. Your application won't go anywhere. You won't be able to get an offer of place until you've got a supervisor.
Okay. Just last thing, just two issue. Part-time job facilities available nearby, and is it available there or not? Part-time.
Yeah, they are. In New Zealand, you can work on or off campus under your student visa. It's not like America. However, I was just reading an article very recently, and our economy, New Zealand economy, is a bit sluggish, and students were saying that they were finding it very hard to find part-time jobs at the moment.
And
you can't be fussy, if you know what I mean. Like, you wouldn't be finding a job as a working probably in an accountancy or finance, company in the city.
And PR possibilities after completing the PhD?
After completing the PhD, then you are allowed to apply for a 3-year post-study work visa.
Okay. Thank you so much, Victoria, for answering all my questions. Thank you.
It's okay, and I hope that was useful for other students as well.
Thank you so much. Students, I can see a lot of new students have joining us as well. So for everybody, I'd like to repeat again. Some might be wondering why my name is not being called. Actually, you need to type something out in the chat box or raise your hand, then you'll enter the queue. Moving on, I would like to call Mr. Rajiv over here. Mr. Rajiv, if you're here, please turn on your mic. The floor is yours. Thank you.
For giving me the floor. Hello, madam. I have a query. Actually, I served in military organization for 20 years. Now I'm retired. So the issue is that I have a very long study gap. Though I have recently done my master's in criminology from Dhaka University in the year 2019. So actually, on profession, I am a cybersecurity expert. So I am dealing with this job for almost 15 years plus. So the problem is that, so since I serve for the army, and army will not actually provide me this kind of job experience certificates. But I know this kind of job, and I have the international vendor certification about these issues, like certified ethical hacker, computer hacking forensic investigator, certified SOC analyst, all those things. I have all these certification, internationally certified. So I'd like to know my opportunities from university. So what can be done? And also I have some volunteer certifications from USA. So during my course period, I had the opportunity to do some of my internship and some professional ground. So I can provide certification on those aspects. So can you please tell me my opportunities in Otago? Thank you so much.
Have you got a master's? I know you've done all these certifications online and little certificates, and you've got a master's degree as well.
Yes, I got a master's in criminology and criminal justice. In the subject, that subject is criminal justice. Okay,
not of justice.
I all those things, but my international certification, like the vendor certification, they said from EC Council. So those are on cybersecurity.
Was it from an institution in Bangladesh, like a university, or was it a private institution?
No, it's like just like like IELTS. It's an international body, EC Council. So they take exam in online. It's a proctored based exam. So thereby, it's not in.
Okay. It's because there's one thing about applying for programs, and then there's also admissions who are looking at your qualifications to see if you've actually got the right qualifications to be able to come into a master's as well. What we're really looking for is, I've got a funny feeling that you would probably be declined because you wouldn't meet the entrance requirements for a master, because we really need to see an undergraduate degree or a master's from a university or a higher education institute from Bangladesh, or from another country. It doesn't have to just be Bangladesh. I would actually, you're the type of student that would suit not a university in New Zealand, but would probably suit a New Zealand polytechnic that also do master degrees as well. And their master degrees also allow you a 3-year post-study work visa. All I can think of, and you sound like you're more of a mature gentleman, so that would also be a little bit of a red flag too for Immigration New Zealand if you were going for a 12-month master and looking at your background as well. The only thing would be an MBA that we have, and an MBA, it's not an executive MBA, it's an 18-month program, Master of Business Administration. I don't know if that would be of interest to you, and I'm not saying that you would be able to get in, but that is more for mature. Basically, students do get into that because they've shown more that they've got the work experience. So instead of looking at the for the MBA, they're looking more at your work CV and the work experience that you would bring to the MBA program, rather than the actual higher tertiary institutional qualifications, if that makes sense.
Thank you so much. Thank you so much for the advice. I'll look into that. Thank you so much.
Okay, I'm sorry. Yeah.
Okay, thank you so much. I can see Syed Hashmir has both messaged and also raised his hand. So it's finally your turn. Please turn on your mic and have a conversation. Syed Hashmir. Mr. Syed Hashmir, if you're here, please. Okay, moving forward to Mr. Arifur Rahman Bhuiya. Arifur Rahman Bhuiya, if you're here, please unmute yourself.
Yes, I am here.
Thank you so much. Please.
Thank you for giving me the opportunity. Hello, ma'am. Good afternoon from my end. I hope you are doing well.
Fine, thank you. Thank you for asking.
Yes. Ma'am, I just wanted to know, actually, I need to know that I have completed my bachelor from 𝐔𝐧𝐢𝐯𝐶𝐞𝐫𝐬𝐢𝐭𝐲 College under University of Dhaka back in 2017. After that, I also have completed MBA also, but now I want to do a second masters in New Zealand if I got opportunity. But I need to know details about this master's program, like what are the IELTS requirements or PT and tuition fees, how bank statements, and also I need to know the subject requirements. Like I have completed my bachelor in accounting, so I need to know about the finance related subjects and like business analytics. So if you please tell me details, it will be good for me. Thank you.
Sure. Yeah, no problem. As I'm just share my screen. So this is for people that have just come in. This is our homepage, and how you can search our homepage is you can go on to, say, for example, I'm going to talk about Master of Business and the different majors under the 12-month coursework Master of Business. So, and you can see the Otago Business School, etc. So if I click on Master of Business, it's a 12-month taught or 1-year taught program. You can see the international fees for this year. And then you come down to the program details and you select the subject you are interested in. So you mentioned that you've got an accounting background. You mentioned that you were interested in business analytics. So you can click on one of these, for example, accounting and finance, and then it drops down and it shows you that this program is made up of points worth 180. To get 10 points or 60 points or etc., you just need to pass that paper 50%, and you would be taking these compulsory papers. So, for example, we have different options depending on what your desire at the end. If you wanted to go into PhD, we've got the dissertation option. If you want to do papers and also applied project and then apply for the 3-year post-study work visa, we have the project option. And then for those that just want to do all papers, coursework option. So you can see that they're very similar, and then it changes depending on what you want to do. So, for example, if we take the project, you've got these compulsory papers that you would take, plus, and these are worth 20 points each, you would pick and choose papers out of the suite of different papers over the 12 months. So if this is the international fees, so it's 62,200. But if you can show us that you've got the equivalent of a B plus in your undergraduate degree, then B plus or higher, then we would give you a $10,000 scholarship, which would reduce that fee down to 52,200 New Zealand dollars, for example. The application is the next intake for Master of Business is July, or then it's February 2027. What is very important is we've had a huge number of applications from Bangladesh. We've had a very big number of students accepting their offer. But when it comes to actually getting the student visa or coming to Otago, that's dropped dramatically to, for example, we had over 200 applications for February. We had over 100, half of those, the students accepted their offer. And for February, we received 6 students from Bangladesh. So something's going on, and it must be at Immigration New Zealand level. So it's very important that when talking with Globalwings and you've got your offer of place or conditional offer, that you get your finances correct. I'm not allowed to give you visa advice. I'm not a licensed immigration advisor. But it would be great if Globalwings, you could share the Immigration New Zealand funds evidence page. You can even Google that, Immigration New Zealand evidence of funds for student visa. And that will tell you exactly what Immigration New Zealand is wanting to see for that. That gives them confidence that you have enough funds that you do not have to rely on a part-time job while you're studying. Also, that you have got enough funds and they've come from a reliable source where you're not using a loan shark, for example. The worst we would hate to happen is suddenly you get to New Zealand and you're studying, and for whatever reason you can't pay back that interest on the loan that you've taken out, and suddenly you're getting phone calls from Bangladesh saying that, oh, we're about to kneecap your grandma type of thing, and you've got stress and you can't study. That's why they are so strict about the funds, the evidence of funds. So take your time and get this correct, and then you'll get that student visa. Just a tip. So something's happening there, but Globalwings are the experts in this that can tell you more and give you more advice. Did I answer? I know you had a lot of questions. What did I miss? I'm sure I missed something.
Ma'am, I just need one more thing. That is, I have almost 8.5 years gap in study after completed my bachelor's. So, is there any complexity to apply in masters?
Yeah, there isn't from the Otago point of view. Okay. What we would like, though, for anyone that's in this position is we'd like to just see a CV. What have you been doing in the last 8 years? That would be great. Also, Immigration New Zealand is going to ask the same thing. They'll want to see a CV. They'll probably ask for a statement of interest, and be prepared to be interviewed as well. Because what they're looking from, we just look at that you've got the academic requirements under our university regulations to be able to come in and do the program and get an offer of place. That's all the university's looking at. Immigration New Zealand is looking at, are you a bona fide student? Why do you want to come to New Zealand and study? They don't want to. So no way should you ever say in your interview or statement of interest that you want to come to New Zealand and study and get the 3-year post-study work visa because you want to immigrate here. Yeah, so it's that type of thing that they're trying to figure out that you are a bona fide student. So be prepared to be maybe interviewed from Immigration New Zealand on what you've been doing over the last 8 years, and can you fund yourself? And if you're bringing your family, can you fund your family as well while you're a student in New Zealand?
Ma'am, I have been working almost 5 years plus. So actually, I mentioned that I have completed my masters also after completing bachelor. So if there will be any issue in applying for masters in New Zealand,
Oh, no, there won't be an issue. What they're looking at is more your GPA, and that you've got the right GPA, at least the equivalent of a B, to come into the program. So that's what they're going to look at. And they'll also want we can give a conditional offer, but they'll also want to see evidence of English proficiency as well.
Okay, ma'am. Then what will be the IELTS or PT requirements?
IELTS will be 6.5, no band below 6, or PTE. I'm just going to have a quick look. Interest requirements. I should know this. I think it's 90, isn't it? One moment, please. PTE. Oh, overall score 58 with no communication skills score below 50.
Okay, ma'am. Thank you.
You're welcome.
Thank you so much. I can see Syed Hashmir has came back again, asking for his opportunity back. So yeah, this is your golden opportunity. Please go ahead. Syed Hashmir, if you're here, please. Syed Hashmir, probably you're facing a connectivity issue again.
Can he put his questions into the chat, maybe? Or
Yeah,
has he
I will
already?
no, he hasn't. I will ask him to do so. I'll repeat the questions when he comes back. So moving forward, I would like to give the opportunity to Miss Khadija over here. Ma'am Khadija, ma'am, if you're here, please have the opportunity. This is your chance.
Thank you, Globalwings. Hello, Victoria. I hope you're having a nice day today. So much time you're giving to each of the students. Really appreciate that. I have recently completed my LLB under University of London. I unfortunately I got a lower second class from under University of London, and now I want to pursue a LLM from your university, specializing on technology law. So what are your thoughts about it, and can I apply for a conditional offer? Thank you.
Now, were you wanting a research LLM or a coursework LLM?
I want to apply for a coursework LLM.
So the University of Otago does not have coursework LLM. We only have a research LLM. But I'm going to tell you the universities in New Zealand that do offer a coursework LLM, and I'm very jealous that they do, because I know we miss out on international students. So University of Auckland, or Auckland University, Victoria University of Wellington, and Canterbury University. Those three, they're all very good faculties of law as well. And they have coursework master LLMs. I can't say that a second class honours, I don't know what their entrance requirements are, but if you sort of Googled, so that's Auckland University, Victoria University of Wellington, and Canterbury University, they'll be able to tell you what their entrance requirements are for the LLM.
Thank you so much for giving me information outside the topic. But
it's okay. I mean, guys, even if you don't come
Victoria,
to,
thank you.
I'd rather you came to New Zealand than Australia. So that's why.
That is
and
a
I'm
good
sorry
insight.
that
And
you
also you're
waited so
helping
long for me to say, oh, we don't have it. So, but hopefully this will still take you on the track to getting to coming to New Zealand. Yeah.
Yeah, thank you so much. I'll have a second question for you. That is, if I don't want to apply for a LLM from law background, what else I can apply in Otago if I want to target Otago?
Yeah, so we've got a real suite, a suite of masters, coursework masters that allow any background. So you can look at the suite of, you've been seeing those Master of Business. It might be international, international business, to the point there could be under, we've also got a Master of International Studies, and that does take in law. There's a law paper as well as a peace and conflict studies paper, economics, international economics, politics, of course. So that's the Master of International Studies, and there's an international law paper in that as well. So that might be something of interest. And then under our Division of Humanities, we've got a lot of coursework, Master of Arts too, that you can apply for as well. So even a Master of Public Health, if you wanted to go down the kind of the health sector with your law degree. I mean, law opens up so many doors, right? So many careers. So,
is there anything specific for conversational masters on digital platform, like tech-based or something, digital marketing, something like that?
We've got the Master of Business and Marketing. Is that what you're meaning? Like a marketing?
A tech-based degree, like digital marketing or something like that?
No, we don't do distance taught any longer. So other universities do. Massey University. Look up Massey University. They do a lot of distance taught programs.
Thank you, Victoria. It's a complete pleasure knowing you and having the opportunity to hear you today.
Okay.
I hope you have a good day today.
You too, and have a lovely weekend. Bye.
Such a wonderful interaction, students. Now I'd like to call for Mr. Zohuru. Mr. Zohuru, if you're here, please turn on your mic. Mr. Zohuru? Okay, moving on.
Yes.
Okay,
yes, I'm here. Muhammad Zohurul Islam. Thank you, madam. Actually, I am in teaching profession, then secondary school. So it is both primary and secondary. I come English literature.
I wasn't able to understand you. Unfortunately, you're going in and out with your. Are you able to type in your question into the chat, please?
Completed IELTS, and my score is 6.5.
Sorry to interrupt you, Mr. Zohirul sir. Could you please type out your question because your internet connection is getting disconnected every now and then. Okay. I apologize for the inconvenience. Please.
While we're just waiting for him to type that in, I'm just going to quickly answer some of the questions that have come in. Someone said, are there part-time job opportunities for master's students? Yes. Whether it's undergrad, master's, PhD, as part of your student visa, you are allowed to work at least 25 hours a week, part-time during the study academics semester, and then full-time during the holidays when the university you're not studying. So it's 25 hours a week while you're studying, full-time in the holidays. That's for everyone on a student visa. What else? Thank you, Andrew. Someone's asked about scholarships for the master program. So basically, if it's a taught master, a coursework master, as long as you've got the equivalent of a B+ or higher, and you don't need to do an application. Our admissions team just works that out while they're doing your application, processing your application, and it automatically comes to you in your offer of place. These are unlimited. It's not like we have 5 to give to Bangladesh. Anyone, as long as you've got a B+ or higher, you get a $10,000 scholarship, or really a tuition fees rebate, and that comes automatically off your tuition fees. For a research master, students who want to do a research master, that is a separate application, and you apply for that. If you are successful, your tuition fees are reduced by the same amount as a New Zealander would pay, and you also get a stipend of around about 18,000 New Zealand dollars per year. For doctoral scholarships, they're the most generous. You apply for that, and if you're successful, your fees are paid for the 3 years you're doing your PhD, and you get a stipend of about 38,000. We've also got undergraduate degrees, scholarships. I'm not too sure if any undergraduate students are on.
Sorry, ma'am. If you allow me,
answering the question.
Thank you.
If you allow me, I would like to call up our next student, Mr. Shorov. Mr. Shorov, if you're here, the opportunity is yours. Calling for Mr. Shorov.
Thank you. Thank you, Tihad. And thank you, Victoria. You have been very kind responding to all the questions. And I'll be mindful about the time as well, and I don't want to take too much time. But I had some specific questions just to tell you a little bit about myself. I completed my graduations from University of Dhaka in 2018 in applied statistics, but then I didn't quite like it, the statistics part. So I changed my career and I started working in digital communications, public information, strategic communications. I have worked with the United Nations in Bangladesh and in Somalia. I just recently got back to Bangladesh and joined another organization, which is US-based and also working in communications. I was wondering if your university could, because I browsed the university website, and to be honest, I'm a little bit lost. I was looking at the communications programs, but if you could suggest if there are any options for my profile. I'm happy to share my CV afterwards.
Sure.
So that would be really helpful. I'm looking at AI. I'm looking at public information, communications, strategic communications.
We've got a Master of Communications that is just going through the government qualification process called QAP. I'll tell you a little bit about it. That's why it's not promoted on the website just yet, but it is going through it. It should go through it. So it's a Master of Communications. One moment, I'm just looking up my emails to find it. See the wood for the trees. Humanities. Okay, criminology, communications. So just a little bit about this. Sorry, I'm just bringing something up. I've got a comms deck. Basically, it is, you would be, okay, I'm going to try and share this. Here's my Zoom gone. Okay. Share. Okay, so this is what the program's sort of made up of. I just need to get rid of. Oh. Sorry, I've just lost. Okay, so hopefully you can see in front of you, it says 𝐴𝐿𝐶𝐬𝐿, your fast track to a career in communications. So we're going to offer a 12-month fully taught master's that you take 2 to 3 papers per semester, and also the summer semester. And they're actually going to have, this is very new, we have a July semester, February semester, July semester, February semester 1, July semester 2, but they're also going to allow students to take it in November as well. So it's going to basically get you job ready for a job. So basically 180 points is what a master's is. And these, you'll be taking these core courses: Foundations in Identity and Belonging, Writing a Revision for Graduate Research, Communication Policy, Issues and Approaches, Global Audience and Publics. And then another 60 points chosen from different elective courses. So basically, if you started in summer school, you would take these two papers, for example, for Foundations in Identity and Belonging, and also Writing a Revision for Graduate Research. I'm just quickly going through this because other people will be, this is very boring for them. And then in semester 1, you'd take another 30 points worth of papers, semester 2, another 30 points worth of papers, etc. Just going through here. So there's different, what they're calling it. So you've got these are your core papers, and then they've got your breakout into electives, or at the moment they're calling it concentration, but that's not what it'll be called. So there's concentration, communication, precision, and there's basically, these are the type of papers you can take around that. Or then there's communication in society, and maybe it's just those two. So what we're looking at is a bachelor's degree for a B average to get in. CV and transcripts will be required. So that's top share. The other one I was thinking of, and I'll definitely be able to send you information as soon as we have that to hand, is also just with your background. Did you see a Master of Peace and Conflict at all?
No, I studied Bachelor in Applied Statistics, and then I did a master's online from University of London in digital media and global culture, all while I was working for the UN in Somalia.
Okay. Yeah, because I just thought maybe that might be of more interest to you than the Master of Communication. But yeah, so basically, I suppose there are other New Zealand universities that do have a Master of Communication as well that you can look at that are being taught at the moment. But as soon as we have ours been given the green light to go ahead, then it'll all go live on the website. And I'm very happy to get your information and be able to send you better information than what I just gave you on the actual program itself, if you wanted.
No, that would be really helpful because I don't actually have any rush. I plan to move by the end of this year or early next year, so I have quite a long timeline.
Yeah, and I can also introduce you to the program coordinator, the professor who's put this all together as well. So you can actually, talk the talk with them because I haven't really been.
I can drop an email on the chat and yeah.
Okay, great.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Okay, thank you so much. Moving forward, Mahmudul Hassan, in the name of user, please, this is your floor. Mahmudul Hassan.
Hello, ma'am.
Hi.
I want to know about, is there any opportunity to pursue PhD degree in this university right now?
You say pass the PhD? Did you say? Sorry. Or you're interested in
just PhD degree?
PhD degree. So have you got a research master's?
Sorry, ma'am.
Tell me a bit about your background.
I have completed BBA from North South University in Bangladesh, and I also completed EMBA from University of Dhaka. Then
what's an acronym? What's an EM?
EMBA degree, Executive Master's degree from University of Dhaka.
That wasn't a research one then, was it? It was more of a coursework master's, Did you do a portfolio? Did you do a dissertation?
Yes, I have completed some research project and I have done some thesis also. So
Yep, so that's sounding like you've got the right background. And what type of what research do you want to go into? What are you interested in doing your PhD on?
In the case, I will say about management or HRM. In HRM, I want to do my PhD degree. I have already made a proposal also. So is there any opportunity to get admission in your university?
There is opportunity, but the opportunity is finding an academic who is willing to supervise you. That's your first step. So great, you've got a research proposal together. Your next step is to do your research and go into our university and other New Zealand universities and looking at the academic profiles within maybe the Department of Management, for example. And then once you've found an academic that has the same research interest that you do, you then reach out to them by email them and introduce yourself, say why you would like to be supervised by them, attach your research proposal, and attach an academic CV that shows what you've been doing academically, as well as an example of your research master and proposal that you completed too. They'd like to see that. And then hopefully they like what they see and they'll say, yep, I'd love to supervise you. And then Globalwings can do your application for you.
Okay, ma'am, got the answer. Thank you for your answers.
Welcome. Good luck.
Thank you so much. Next up is Dr. 𝐔𝐬𝐲𝐢𝐈. I'm sorry if I'm butchering your name, but Dr. 𝐔𝐬𝐲𝐈, if you're here, please have the floor. Calling up for Dr. 𝐔𝐬𝐲𝐈. Okay. Next up is Dr. Ariana Haider. If you're here, please unmute yourself.
Hello. Hello,
Hi.
this is Ariana.
Hi. Hello.
Hello, ma'am. I want to ask you that I have pursued my MBBS from Kyrgyzstan in 2025. I have 85%, which is 3.10 out of 4, my CGPA. And also I have distinction later in physiology and pathology. And also I got recommendation later in public health. But ma'am, I don't have any English proficiency right now, but I do have MOI. So can I get conditional offer later? And I am preparing for my PTE. I will give before the visa arrive. Is there any chance to get it?
Yeah, you can get a conditional offer while you're waiting for your PTE. That's not a problem. What program were you interested in applying for?
Ma'am, maybe public health or a health representative or health management, any health related subject.
Yeah, sure. So, yeah, the Master of Public Health is a 2-year master.
Okay.
I'll show you how much it costs.
Okay, ma'am.
So that you would share. There we go. Yep, you can see the website. So come up to international tuition fees. And we'll come down to health sciences. And scroll down to P for public health, let's say. There we go. So you're looking public health, 2 years, each year is 51,975. Now for your first year, if you can show us, and it sounds like you have done very well, then you would get a $10,000 scholarship, which would reduce that to 41,975. And you get a 1-year
41,000.
visa.
So ma'am, is there
Hello?
Hello, Dr. Ariana. Yeah, you're here.
Hello, ma'am. Can I get a scholarship?
So,
yes,
so
I have net problem.
So admissions would look at your transcripts.
Yeah. Ma'am,
Can you hear me?
Ma'am, I want to ask you one more thing. Ma'am, I want to ask you one more thing, that will I get any scholarship for first year?
Yes, you have the opportunity to get a scholarship. Yeah, as long as they can tell, as long as they'll work out your GPA, and if it's a B plus or higher, then you'll get not a full scholarship, $10,000 off that tuition fee that you can see there.
And ma'am, I have one more thing to ask you, that can I do I need to give all for 1 year amount, like I have to pay 1 year full tuition fees, or I can apply 6 months?
That's a great question. Yes, so Immigration New Zealand wants to see that you have paid your tuition fees for 1 full year. So it doesn't have to be 2 years, but 1 full year at least.
Okay.
Yeah. So what you could do though is get what they call acceptance in principle. So you put your student visa in, and you're putting all your financials and your medical and your police checks, etc. And then Immigration New Zealand comes back and they say, we are happy. So we're giving you acceptance in principle. Now the only thing we need to see is that you pay your tuition fees and you send us the tuition fees receipt.
Okay.
And they'll give you the student visa. Yeah.
Okay, ma'am. And ma'am, I have another question. My husband is Pakistani. So is there any problem regarding his visa? He can fly with me or like that?
So he would apply for a partner visa.
Yes, ma'am.
And I'm not a visa specialist, so I'm not allowed to sort of say what if he can come in or not or whatever. But yeah, as a master's student, your husband is more than welcome to come with you, and if you've got children, they're more than welcome to come into the country. And what I can tell you is he would get a working visa. So he would apply for a working visa and get a full-time working visa while you study. You can
That
work
would be great.
part-time and he would work full-time. Yeah.
Thank you so much, ma'am, for your help.
Welcome.
Nice
No
talking
worries.
with you.
You
Okay.
too.
Okay, thank you so much. Next up is Shafiqul Islam. Shafiqul Islam, sir, if you're here, please unmute yourself. Mr. Shafiqul Islam.
Hello.
Hello, sir. Please.
Hello, my name is Shafiqul Islam. So I would like to ask some questions. So before asking questions, I like to give some my intro. Like I completed my master's degree in genetics and plant breeding in 2008. This is a huge gap, but afterwards, since my master's degree, I have been doing job in research organization. So now I would like to do PhD in New Zealand. So can I apply for PhD degree for scholarship without having prior setting any professor?
No. And you also need to do, so you did your master's in 2008, was that right?
Yes. Yes, I did.
And have you been publishing or working as an academic since then?
Yeah, I do have publication more than 10 in my field.
Yeah. So basically, what you need to do is when you approach an academic to supervise, you need to give them your CV, an academic CV, so they can see what you've been doing since you last graduated with your research masters. And hopefully, yeah, with those publications that you've been doing over the last 8 years, because they need to have the confidence that you can go into a lab, you know your way around a laboratory, and you can start your data collection and start that PhD, because it's, you know, that's your full-time job, and that's going to take you 3 years, and 3 years is not long to actually, you know, do the data collection and type up your $100,000 word thesis as well within 3 years. You can push it out to 4 years, but if you had a doctoral scholarship, that funding is only for 3 years. Being science and being in genetics and knowing how expensive the laboratories are to run, they might want to see that you've got a scholarship, a doctoral scholarship, or a Bangladeshi government scholarship. I don't know. That they just give them the confidence that you can fund your research for 3 years, and you don't have to get a job while you're studying.
No problem, but the thing is that you say I've been doing job for like 19 years, and now I am almost 42 years. Is there any age gap? Is matter for getting PhD offer from your university?
Yeah, I mean, I have to admit, age is not on your side. I'd say, I mean, you've got to think it is so competitive to get an academic to supervise a PhD. I mean, they're just spoilt for choice from young graduates from top universities around the world. So you're going to have to make sure your email, CV, and your research proposal really stands out. So take your time on that research proposal and find the right academic that is looking for a PhD student in your research field, or change your research proposal to one that an academic is looking for. Because some academics get a lot of funding and they're looking for PhDs to help them with the research funding proposal that they have. So there's sort of two ways of going about it. You can kind of cold call as such by just doing your own research on academics and contacting them, or some universities have academics that will promote that they're looking for a PhD in a certain field, and then you approach them that way.
Hopefully I can, I hope I can make it. But do you have any university that you might suggest to apply or browse for professor for my field in breeding and
No, come on,
genetics.
you're about to do a research PhD. You need to do the research and find that out. You're the expert. I'm just a generalist. I know a little bit about all of the university, but I'm not an expert from a geneticist. So you need to do that research. Yeah.
No, I mean major in agriculture, so maybe you might know. That's why I'm asking you. But okay, yeah, I will find out too. No problem.
Yeah. Okay.
Just getting extra advance from you.
Yeah.
So thank you so much. Actually, it was a great pleasure for me to know about the New Zealand.
You're welcome. Good luck. Good luck.
Thank you.
Thank you so much. I can see Mr. Arifur Rahman Huya is again raising his hand. Probably he have much more questions. Please unmute yourself if you want to.
Yes, I want to know something.
Sure, fire away.
Okay. I have just missed the questions. Actually, in my study gaps, I have completed masters as I mentioned. So, will there be a problem if I show my masters in my study gap time?
Sorry, if you show your masters in what?
I have completed masters after my bachelor's. So when I want to apply for second masters in New Zealand, if I show this degree, will there be a problem?
No, that's fine. We get many students that do a second master's. Immigration New Zealand doesn't seem to mind that. And that'll be in your statement of interest where you'll explain why you want to take a second master's. And so that explanation will suffice in their eyes that you're a bona fide student.
Okay. Then one more question. Actually, this is a silly question. Actually, you said that the requirement is for scholarships. The requirement is B plus or higher CGPA requirement. So, what CGPA is recognized the B plus for masters in New Zealand?
Yep. I just one moment. I get the GPE table out. Just bringing it up. I've got a point scale. Which one's this? Okay. Let me share this with you. Where have you gone? Share. Okay. So hopefully, can you see that okay? Can I make it bigger? Here we go. So there we go. So Otago, if you see that B plus, as a percentage at Otago, that sits between 75 to 79 or a 6 GPA. So if your university, the overall pass rate, for example, was 40%, then you're looking at 65 to 69%. So that's the grade comparison table. Does that make sense? But you want a GPE score, don't you? So if I get rid of that and I go, okay, I'm just closing that. Let me just find another one. GPE table, GPA point scale. Okay, so I'm going to share this with you all. Share. There we go. So if your university's under a point scale, there's the B plus. If your point scale is a 4 out of 4, it's a 3.3, 5, it's a 4 out of 5, etc. So does that sort of answer what a B plus is, equivalent to Otago?
Okay, ma'am. I have found my answers. Thank you.
All right. You're welcome.
Thank you so much.
You're welcome.
All right.
Have
Thank you so much. Thank you so much, Arifur. You also have a great day. Moving on, I would like to call for Mr. Dr. 𝐔𝐬𝐲𝐢𝐭𝐲 sir again. Dr. 𝐔𝐬𝐲𝐢𝐭𝐲 sir, if you're here, please unmute yourself.
Hello, Victoria. How are you?
Thank you. And yourself? You good?
Yeah, I'm good.
Excellent.
Okay. Actually, I'm looking for PhD because I have also completed in MBBS in Bangladesh in 2011. Then I completed Masters in Public Health in 2018, and some publications related because I am working in the international organization, which is research based last 17 years. So actually, what is the pathway or guideline about to find out the supervisor or direct admission about the PhD in health science of any subject or any? Thank you.
You're one of the ones that kind of falls between the cracks. It's hard. Because the medical degree is not a research, if you know what I mean. So, and then you did so it'll be looking, probably you did your master's in public health.
Yeah.
It'll be looking at finding a academic in the public health area, I'd say, and doing your PhD under public health. So some sort of research on public health.
Yeah.
Would that interest you? Would that be cool?
Yeah.
Okay. Cool. All right. So I'm just going to go. Sorry, I've got two screens and it's all over the place. Let me just get public health up and then I'll share my screen. We have a huge Department of Public Health, the University of Otago. We've got 3 different campuses in Dunedin, which is the main campus, but we've also got public health in Christchurch and in Wellington as well. Come up, public health. So we've got a lot of, I'm going to do Department of Public Health in Dunedin for a starter. PhD. Sorry, well, okay.
Yeah.
Share, where am I sharing? So this is the Dunedin campus, which is the main campus, their Department of Public Health. And it's quite a good PhD page because it's got quite a lot of information. So I'm just going to pop this into the chat for everyone can see it. But there we go. I've just put the link in there for you. So grab that and copy it. So basically what they have, if you wish to explore the possibilities, you should meet the research student conveyor earlier in the process. This applies to all students, even if you're already involved in one of the research groups or involved in an existing project. International students, if you're overseas wishing, okay, contact the international office. Well, you're contacting me now.
Okay.
So what they want, so yeah. So what you need is, first of all, you can look, they've got a database. So you can look at the database, first of all, and see what academics within public health, for example. So you've got the Heart Institute in Christchurch. They're looking for PhD students. Public health and vitamin A and leprosy. She's looking for a master's student. So you can come down here and sort of see.
Okay.
And say if something really, looks like, yep,
this is scroll up. Yeah. It is the primary care nurse delivery pre-diabetic intervention package. Yeah.
Right. So they're looking for a master's, but this is kind of a good place to start because it's telling you the academics who has an interest in this. Okay.
Yeah.
So at least you can sort of see the overview of this, but then it gives you the contact details of Trudy Sullivan. So that's kind of, now you've sort of narrowed it down to, okay, so Trudy Sullivan's also interested in this. So then you can look on her LinkedIn profile or her Google, Trudy Sullivan Otago, and it'll take you straight to her profile on the university and read more in her publications, etc. And then say you're like, yep, Trudy, yep, I definitely would love to, do some research underneath her. Then you reach out to her and contact her directly.
Okay.
And as you've probably heard me say, introduce yourself. Think of it like a job interview almost.
Okay.
And introduce yourself, put that research proposal, maybe critique your research proposal so that it's in line with hers, etc. Your academic CV. They want 2 references as well that have taught you. And sort of, you go from there and then send your email in and fingers crossed and hope that will get back to you. Yeah. So that's Otago, there's Dunedin, there's Christchurch, there's Wellington. Auckland University has a very big Department of Public Health as well. Even Victoria University of Wellington has public health too. So there's quite a few New Zealand universities that do teach, that have a teaching staff. It's just finding the right academic with the right research that has the same interest that you have. Yeah.
Okay, thank you. As well as the last question is, actually, I want to know about the public health field in New Zealand. Actually, what kind of job facilities or what kind of job are available for, future?
Yeah, so with public health and with your PhD, we have a lot of sort of Crown institutes, government institutes. So, for example, you might become a public health policy maker, sitting. So, international students, you can go into government departments in New Zealand. They allow international. You don't have to be a New Zealand citizen. Some countries are a bit funny about that, but not in New Zealand. Or then there's Crown institutes. So for like the New Zealand Cancer Association type of thing, and you'd be going to public health in that way. And then there are the private sectors too, and then down into the more local community public health providers as well. Probably if you get onto AI and Google, public health in New Zealand, it'll sort of spit out all the sort of different industries. But it's pretty good. But they're lovely. Actually, public health are a lovely department. And as it said first, you're more than welcome to contact. What did they say? The PhD. I'm just going back. If you wish to explore possibilities of PhD, you can meet with the research student convener and have a chat to them as well. So, there's quite a bit of information there on the website.
Okay. Thank you. That's a lot of information.
That's all right. Look, and remember, you can start your PhD at any time of the year as well. So there's not that kind of same trying to quickly get an offer round for a July intake or whatever. So, but take your time. Think of it as a job interview, and think of it that you are you've got lots of competition of other people around the world.
Definitely. Thank you, Victoria. Thanks a lot.
You're welcome. Good luck.
Thank you.
Thank you so much. I hope third time is the charm. Syed Hashmi, this is your third and final opportunity. Could you please unmute yourself and have the conversation? Syed Hashmi? Okay, I think I might have to read out his question from the chat, if you allow me, ma'am. So he is speaking as, I have master's degree in accounting department from National University, and I am a medical promotion officer in the ACME Laboratories Limited, and I want to do second master's on HRM or accounting. Could you please advise on it?
So we don't have a human resource master for a coursework master's. We do have the accounting and finance, which is any background can go into that. Actually, you don't have to have an accounting background. So maybe the Master of Business in Accounting and Finance, it's a 12-month coursework master. Upon graduating, you're allowed to apply for a 3-year post-study work visa. Or we have the option of an applied project, for example. So as well as doing the papers, then over the holidays that you'll be given a real live sort of issue, problem to solve from one of our companies or networks. So that might be something you're interested in. It's around about $52,000. And you would get a $10,000 scholarship if you can show a B+ or higher. Yeah. I think the staff, all the staff have been listening for the last two hours. They'll be feeling quite confident on how to counsel you on these courses. Yeah.
Actually, thank you so much for your information. And I have no B+ on your market scale, but I have a B+ on our market scale, and it's totally different than yours because of in our market scale we have 65% means B+, and your market scale maybe it has 75% above. It makes B+. So I have a huge gap, and I am not applicable for this. And I want to know without it, can I applicable for without IELTS and MY?
So I mean, without no, so B is the entrance. I keep talking about B+, but that's because you'll get a scholarship. Everyone's asking about scholarship.
Okay.
But to actually come into the Master of Business is a B. So if we look at what is a B on that scale, we're looking at a B is a 3 out of 4 or a 3.5 out of a 5-point scale.
I am B 3 out of 4. Out of 4.
Out of 4. So that'll be a 3 out of 4, or percentage-wise. Box. Percentage-wise, we're looking at a B is the equivalent to your percentage mark at your university. Is it 4%, 50%, or 60%?
67%, almost 67%.
Out of 60. Okay. So if it was a 60% pass mark at your university, then we're looking at you getting 75 to 79.
Our pass mark is 40%.
Okay. Oh, that's better. 60 to 64.
Yeah, I have a 67% in masters.
Great. Boom. You're in. So you get a conditional offer, and then you've got your English proficiency as well. So that'd be if it was an IELTS, a 6.5, no band below 6. As I was saying, we also take PTE, Duolingo, TOEFL. So we've got quite a few different English proficiencies. But you can get a conditional offer, and then Globalwings can then start the visa process while you're sitting your English proficiency. So at least you know there's a place for you in Otago in the Master of Business, for example, and then you can get your visa underway application underway while you're doing your English proficiency.
Okay.
It's Dr. Brian. Sorry, who meant to interrupt you?
Thank you so much.
Okay, that's great. Hi, it's Dr. Brian Emery here at Globalwings. I'm the Director of Global Partnerships. We've been busy offline actually counseling students for University of Otago, and I'm available here in the office tomorrow as well. So if you want to come and talk to us more about the University of Otago, you're more than welcome to come and see us at Globalwings Dhaka office, which is located directly opposite Jamuna Future Park here in Dhaka. I'm also an alumni of the University of Otago and also used to lecture in the business school at the University of Otago. So it's my pleasure to also represent the University of Otago here as well. I'm not sure there's any more queries. I'm mindful, Victoria, it's very late at night. You must be almost time to snuggle up to your teddy. Are there any more questions?
Yes, sir. I believe we have 20 more students waiting, but it's all up to Miss Victoria. If she is, if it is possible, I would like to call up a few more, if it's okay.
Yeah. I'm feeling fine actually. This might come to bite me tomorrow morning, but I'm look, it's a Friday night, guys, and I'm at home, and everyone's probably out
Okay.
It's a bit sad. So look, I'm happy to keep going let's go for another 20 minutes and see how if the line decreases. If not, I think people are adding on. So let's just get some more questions and I'm very happy to keep talking for another 20 minutes.
Thank you.
Thank you so much, ma'am. Thank you so much. I would like then call up MD Mujibur Rahman. Sir, if you're here, please unmute yourself. MD Mujibur Rahman, Mohammed Mujibur Rahman, sir. Okay. Moving on to Maruf Hassan Jihad. Maruf Hassan Jihad, if you could present your question by unmuting yourself. Okay, I'll read out your question for you, ma'am. I have completed SSC in 2021 with a GPA of 4.68, and recently I have been completed diploma in textile engineering degree with a CGPA of 3.25 out of 4. I got band 6 in IELTS and no band less than 5.5. Am I eligible to get any IT or engineering related subject in Victoria University?
So Otago, we don't have any engineering, but there are other universities that have engineering. You wouldn't be able to get into, you would be GPA 3.25 out of 4, but that's a diploma. Probably, I don't think Otago is the right fit for you with the textile engineering degree, but there are polytechnics that have masters of IT and engineering, and there are other New Zealand universities that also have a master of IT and engineering that might be able to suit you. So I think the best thing is to have a good counsel with some of the staff at Globalwings, and they'll be able to probably be able to help you and direct you into the right institutions in New Zealand.
Okay, thank you so much. I think we can keep it up to that if it's all right. I have no more students. Okay, there's one more student came up just right now. Could you please? Okay, so another student is asking for sorry, I was muted. I'm having a disconnection over here. One of the students is asking for Masters of Business Analytics. Is it for a 1-year program or does it extend to 1.5 years?
It's a 1-year program. Yeah, 12 months.
Okay. What could be the requirements and also the IELTS? I think IELTS is for 6.5 or no band less than 6. I'm gonna answer it for you. And the requirements to enter into this program for a bachelor's degree.
Bachelor's degree with a GPA average of a B, the equivalent of a B. Yep. So we've figured out that a B is probably if your pass mark was 40%, that's 60 to 64%, or it's 60 to 64%, or if it's a GPA model. I'm just quickly looking for that other table. B is if it was out of 4, 3 out of 4, or 3.5 out of 5.
All right, thank you so much, ma'am. Dear students, if any of you have any more questions, this is the last and final opportunity. I would like to end this session because we all need to get some rest and go home. It's a Ramadan month, and so
Ramadan Mubarak.
Thank you so much, ma'am. Ramadan Mubarak to everybody.
I'll tell you something. It's summer here, right, in New Zealand. And so the poor international students, they all arrived last week. Dawn, The sun rises or dawn is round about 6:30 in the morning. The sun is setting right now, being summer, at around about 8:40 in the evening.
Oh my goodness, that's pretty difficult for them to understand.
Brutal. So the poor students are getting over their jet lag, homesick, trying to culture shock, and then on top of that, fasting. But we're really looking after, we're looking after them. We have a mosque just basically a block from the campus, and they are every night, putting on open house and lots of wonderful cuisine and stuff like that. And then in our university accommodation, we're making sure that all the students they can break their fast before the sun rises and prayers, and make sure they've all got dates and everything. And then they can also, we make sure that they've got a supper for them too once they've broken their fast in the evening. So we're trying to look after them and give that wonderful support. Yeah,
that's so beautiful and wonderful. What a lovely community, guys. So to all my beloved students, I hope this was a very informative session for all of you. And thanks to Miss Victoria again for giving us such a wonderful event and letting us enabling our students to have such a beautiful conversation one-to-one with you. Thank you so much. I think the students is still again asking for more questions.
Why don't we do this? How about, because of course I don't work on a Saturday and Sunday, but if there are a whole lot of questions, feel free to email them through, and on Monday I'll answer them and send them back. So then you can send them out to the students. How about that?
All right, done. That's wonderful. So thank you to everybody. We'd like to end this session over here. And okay, more questions. Yeah, Maruf Hassan Zihad, your questions will be answered. Do not worry, we are always over here for you. And we are always here to support you. I have noted down your questions. It will be answered pretty soon. Thank you so much. Thank you, Victoria ma'am. Have a lovely rest of the day.
You too. Bye-bye. Thank you, everyone. Bye-bye. Lovely to meet you all. Bye. Keep safe.
Take care.